Welcome to Edenton, Chowan County, North Carolina, chartered more than 300 years ago. This town on the inner banks of the Albemarle Sound is steeped in history. Edenton was the first colonial capital of North Carolina and a leader in the fight for freedom and independence. 2 signers of the Declaration of Independence and 2 signers of the U.S. Constitution lived in Edenton. The first organized, written political action by women, known as the Edenton Tea Party, took place here, and the father of the U.S. Navy called Edenton home. Today, Edenton's charm extends from its history, its natural beauty, and its centuries of architecture. It extends from these to its residents. Experience this beauty and charm in this virtual 39th annual Christmas Candlelight Tour presented by the Edenton Historical Commission.
Hello, my name is Malone Gillum. I'm the rector at St. Paul's Episcopal Church, and we want to welcome you into our beautiful space during these holidays. As our minds race to make some sense of some of the clamor in the world, one of the great ways to connect with our Lord is through music. Our organist, Linda Thornton, will be playing some hymns, which I think you'll find familiar. And as you hear them, I hope you do sense the presence of Christ with you. Merry Christmas.
Welcome to our home and Merry Christmas. I'm Key and this is my wife Clara.
Before we get started on the tour, I'd like to explain just a little bit about how we decorate and where we find the joy in Christmas. First and foremost, of course, is the birth of Christ, but then we have had so many blessings and so many things that have brought us joy over the years that we really like to celebrate Christmas with these items. I have always been a horse lover, and we have lots of horsey things around the house. And Key is a boater, a sailor, and so many times we will have a small nautical tree in the house, and we've even had a ship's model on the Christmas dining room table at one time. But speaking of horsey things, if you'll take a look at our wreath, we've got a hunter's horn, and somewhere in this garland is a horseshoe, a lucky horseshoe that I saved from my very first horse, Natty Boy, whom I adored. We'd like for you to come into the side porch and I'll talk to you about our Christmas tree. This house was built in 1893, and typical of so many of the Victorian houses, the rooms are rather small, and putting a big Christmas tree into those rooms doesn't always work too well. So we keep our tree with natural decorations out on the porch. This one has a garland, a simple garland of baby's breath and Spanish moss, and of course a little wheat for good luck. And it wouldn't be Christmas without magnolia, and you'll see magnolia in all our decorations. But this keeps the tree a lot fresher, and it can be enjoyed by the many people that come by the pedestrians. This is definitely a pedestrian town.
This is the pine cone Christmas tree on the piano. Since this is the land of the longleaf pine, we pay tribute to the old North State with these small pine cone Christmas trees around the house. Every year we surround this one with family antique toys used by Clara's mother, grandparents, great aunts, and uncles. And we always have a little Christmas mouse at the window watching for Santa.
And Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without some spirits. So we welcome our guests with spirits, Christmas spirits, from the Cellarette over in the corner here. If you'd like to take a look at the mantle that was designed by my dear friend Sybil Skinner, she incorporated all the things that I love, which includes some little wee loving cups from horse shows, from English horse shows, again, the hunter's horn, and all the natural things that Sybil collects, like the cattails and the hydrangeas, and of course the roses, which to me is a symbol of running for the roses, like at the Derby. We would like you to take a look at our bronze Edwardian bust. She's all dressed up in her fedora with a little Christmas spray and looking like she's ready to go out for a tromp in the woods.
We hope you enjoyed our version of Christmas. Merry Christmas from Molly as well. Best wishes for a safe and happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to Long Beach. This home was built in 1901 on the Albemarle Sound. It's in the West Indies colonial architectural style. In 1983, it was moved from the Sound to the Yopim River. And we enjoy bringing out our Christmas collections. And Molly has been in my family for generations. She's now 100 years old, and she always wears her Christmas dress. The Christmas tree is a Leland cypress. All of the greenery that you see in the center hall is from our property, plants that can grow on our property. And this is a Leland cypress.
The Leland cypress was not cut down just for us to have a huge Christmas tree. It was destined to be removed, so we thought, why not bring it in for its last hurrah? And it certainly does make a statement in this entryway.
The different collections were started many years ago. This collection of crystal Christmas trees my mother began. And of course, center stage is Scrooge, because Alex plays Scrooge every Christmas, and he is famous for...
Bah humbug!
For us, Christmas is about faith, and we have creches and nativities, one from Africa, one from Montana, one from Germany, one from South Padre Island, Texas. And along with faith, Christmas is about family and friends. And I like to get out the Christmas books because Alex's brother Byron loved to read the best Christmas pageant ever. Along with faith, family, and friends, Christmas is about food.
And in center place is the eggnog. A great tradition in my family dating way back to at least 1942. We had a restaurant on Broad Street in Edenton, and every Christmas Eve my father would make a generous supply of eggnog. Of course, in those days, any alcohol was forbidden in restaurants, but it managed to get into my father's eggnog, which was appreciated by the locals who came surely every Christmas Eve to visit my father and have their eggnog.
Your mother was also famous for gifting wonderful cheesecakes. And then in my family, we have 4 generations who have made fruitcake. And my grandmother's fruitcake recipe is there in her handwriting. The garland that you see, I'm not particularly crafty, but I started that many years ago, and each year add to it. And you can see more of the Santa collection. We have wooden Santas that came from our time in Montana. We have dueling Santas because Alex is a graduate of Clemson and I am of the University of Alabama. And you can see that Alabama is number one.
Bah humbug.
The garland on the staircase was constructed by Halsey's Garden Center, and we added the decorations. And of course it continues the Santa collection. So faith, family, and friends.
And food.
Well, but first, even my scarf was made by a dear friend about 15 years ago, and I wear it every year for the Christmas Candlelight Tour. So we thank you for being a part of this year's tour,
And
and we wish you
a Merry Christmas.
Hi, I'm Marie Steinberg. Welcome to our home. I'm sorry my husband is not here today. State Senator Representative Bob Steinberg, he's doing business in Raleigh, so I'm on my own. But I'd like to welcome you to our home and to our Christmas here on Granville Street. The one thing I'd like to start with is our Christmas tree. It's not a theme tree. It is the tree of our life. It starts many, many years ago with some ornaments, but this one is especially important. This was Bob's father's Santa that he made in Sunday school 92 years ago. And this has been with us ever since my mother-in-law divided her house up. We have many ornaments they're not antique, they're handmade or special ornaments from special people. I've got this one and many others like it of our grandchildren. We have got a special one from St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Like I said, there are many of them. We've got one that my brother-in-law did in memory of my sister who passed away 2 years ago. We've got some from our original house when we moved south when Bob and I were just kids. And I mean, the tree is just full of many, many memories. We've got a couple of little stuffed things on the floor. This little snowman that's sitting on the box was my mother's last attempt when she was knitting, and she was getting quite old and was having some problems, but she made that, so that means so much to us. And we can step this way into the dining room. The thing that sold us this house, me especially, was this chandelier in the dining room. And if I've got the story straight, and I'm not really sure I do, but one of the former owners bought it at a collectible shop or an antique shop. Her husband told her not to buy it because he assumed that it would not be all there. Well, she did it anyway, and they put it up, and every single piece was on that chandelier, and it's been hanging here ever since. Next, of course, I've got my table set up for Christmas dinner. We usually have our son and his fiance, or our other son who lives in New Hampshire, depending. And what I will do is a repeat of Thanksgiving for Christmas because some of them were not able to come. So anyway, we're all set up for the holiday. And over here on the window seat, are carolers that I started collecting many years back. And one of my sisters every year for Christmas would get me another one. I love the carolers. They remind me of an old-timey Christmas. The little Christmas tree my mother made in ceramics many, many years ago, and that has been with us for a long time too. So Santa, Bob, and I would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And thank you for coming into our home.
Thank you for coming into our home, Lee and Mary Margaret Snipes. We appreciate the opportunity to discuss or to share. Yeah, share our home and share the Christmas that Mary Margaret's put out here for us in the sunroom. Our two favorite ornaments on our Christmas tree are things from our daughter and my father. Our daughter, back when she was around 5 years old, made this Christmas ornament for us of Santa Claus. And we've kidded through the years. It's on our tree every year, and we've kidded and we've named him Santa Monster. So Santa Monster goes on the front of our tree every year. The second item that we have, or decoration we have on our tree, is the little peanut bird, which is a little bit difficult to see. But my father, when he was 5 years old and just going into the first grade down in South Carolina, they made ornament for their parents, and that was a peanut that they decorated to look like a bird. So that was in 1930. So Peanut Bird is about 90 years old now. And the rest of the Christmas tree, Mary Margaret's been collecting Santas for a few years and decorates the Christmas tree with Santa Clauses. The last thing that I'll point out is the June McKennas. We started collecting June McKenna figures back in the 80s of Santa Claus, and had collected a few that we really have enjoyed, including Santa Claus's sleigh up on our mantle. Mr. Moose came to us a few years back also, and every Christmas we put Mr. Moose either in our kitchen or out. This year's a new place for Mr. Moose to give him an opportunity to see out a little bit more. So we love decorating Mr. Moose every year with a wreath around his neck, and he's kind of watching after us as we celebrate Christmas. Mr. Moose said that he's providing the spirit of Christmas for us and wants to wish you a Merry Christmas also with the from the Spirit Moose. And other than that, Mary Margaret,
Merry Christmas.
And thank you for the Edenton Christmas Tour this year too, and being a part of it.
Hello to everyone. We are the members of Kadesh AME Zion Church. We are the choir members. We are part of the Edenton Candlelight Tour. Our church was destroyed, in other words, not totally destroyed, in the hurricane of 2003, which was known as Isabel. We're presently trying to restore the church, and right now we are glad to be working on this project, which we've been working on now for the past 3.5 years. Looking forward to getting back into our historic church. Our church was built in 1897, and it's also has always been a pillar in our community, in our Black community. We love the church, and the town loves the church. So we're all working together to get back into our church home. And at this time, I would like to introduce our pastor, Pastor Dilla Hunt, who's been with us since June, I believe, and he's a great pastor.
Good afternoon. I'm grateful to be here. Thankful that the Edenton, the Kadesh AME Zion Church could be a part of the Edenton Candlelight service this year. And at this time, I'm pleased to introduce our choir director, Miss Teresa Leary will come now. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Teresa Leary. I am the choir director for Kadesh AME Zion Church here in Edenton, North Carolina. And we have been asked to participate in the Edenton Candlelight Tour service. And we have 3 selections for you this afternoon. Come Let Us Adore Him, Go Tell It on the Mountain, And Jesus, what a wonderful child. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Oh, what a wonderful child. Jesus, 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 Jesus. So holy, meek and mild. New life, new hope to all he brings. Listen to the angels sing. Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Oh, what a wonderful child. Jesus, 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 Jesus. So holy, meek and mild. New life, new hope to all he brings. Listen to the angels sing. Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King. He was hurled by the angels, born in a lonely manger. The Virgin Mary was his mother, and Joseph was his earthly father. 3 wise men came from afar. They were guided by a shining star to see a babe where he laid in a manger filled with hay. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Oh, what a wonderful child. Jesus, Jesus. So holy, meek and mild. New life, new hope to all he brings. Listen to the angels sing. Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King. Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Beverly Hall was built in 1810. It's been in our family, or my children's family, since that time. My family bought it in the 1840s, and so I grew up here. And it's a mighty special place, and this is the dining room. And when Gray and I moved in, her parents gave us this hand-painted Gracie wallpaper as a housewarming present. The furniture in here all has some significance. The corner cupboard was made in Pasquotank County in the 18th century, and the clock was made, it's probably the nicest piece of furniture in the house. The tall case clock over here on this wall was made by Charles Moore, and it is one of the few Southern clocks in existence. And it was in Perquimans County for 150 years and moved to Edenton. The dining room table belonged to a friend of ours in next door, and when she died, we ended up acquiring it, and it was bought by her grandparents from Tiffany in about 1910 when they used to retail furniture. And the portrait over the mantel is of our oldest daughter, Annie Gray. So over the door is Louisa Matilda Badham, and she was responsible for adding this room in about 1840 or 50. And she lived here. She picked out the light fixtures, and so she was really my first relative that lived here and ate in this dining room. But since 1810, there have been a lot of celebrations in this room, and I guess from me and from my family and everybody that's gone before us, Merry Christmas.
Welcome and Merry Christmas. I'm the third generation in this downtown Edenton home, and my children who are growing up here are the fourth. When my grandparents lived here, this was originally the kitchen, and when I was a little girl, it was our playroom. It's also where my mother and I started our real estate company about 20 years ago, and obviously now is our dining room. The mural on the wall is just something that I had to have. Every now and then you see something that speaks to you, and I didn't know where in my house it was going, but I knew I had to have it. And you can see above the china cabinet, which is original, there's a little owl that was a part of that mural, but he had to be cut out due to size, so we perched him on the china cabinet. On the table, the napkin rings were made by my grandmother, and my water goblets are a collection that my godmother started for me when I was a little girl, so I have a full mixed match set. Local artists are in the room. Most of the stuff on the table came from downtown Edenton shop, and it's an eclectic mix, bright and colorful and fun, which is what we think Christmas should be. We'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and look forward to seeing you in person in Edenton next year.
Hello, my name is Autumn, and today you're going to be doing the Christmas tour around the house. And this is the house where it's for all the love, and I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope you enjoyed the tour. And this is my grandma, Patricia White.
Hi, how is everybody? Welcome to the White's home.
And now you're gonna come into the kitchen. This is me and my grandma home, and this is the kitchen.
And this is where we cook all our good meals.
Like Christmas stuff and Thanksgiving and dessert. And now this is our living room. This is where all my grandma grandkids come, and this is where we basically be for Christmas, and this is where all the love is. This Christmas tree is where all the grandkids' names are, and where all the love spreads out on the tree.
And this is where we all gather together to sit and eat. And this Christmas tree here is the tree with all the grandkids' names every year so that they see that no one has outgrown Christmas.
And this one is mine.
Welcome to the White's home. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good morning. I'm Chris Bean, former chairman of the Edenton Historical Commission. And with me today is Susan Creighton to my right and Peggy Ann Vaughn to my left. We have all been involved with the Christmas tour from its inception in 1981. And we're here to tell you a little bit about how the Christmas tour started and how it advanced through the years, through the efforts of many, many people. The idea for the Christmas tour came because in Edenton we have a biennial pilgrimage every other year, but it only includes historic homes. And there are so many beautiful homes in Edenton that are not necessarily historic by our standards, that we felt like it'd be a great idea for people to be able to see those homes as well. So we started the Christmas tour in 1981 and begged people to open their homes, and people said, oh, we don't think this will really work at all. And so it sort of brought them kicking and screaming into it. Everybody had a wonderful time with it. I think we had about 80 people the first year, and the admission was $5 a night. Or if you wanted to go both nights, you could pay $7.50. From there, each year, we advertised a little bit more, and we attracted more people, and not just local people, but people from Tidewater, Virginia, and other places started to come. And then through the very innovative efforts of Susan to my right, the Christmas tour through the years has advanced to be just a highlight event for the people in Edenton and those people who come every single year. So Susan, would you like to tell us a little bit about how things progressed?
Well, I think Chris got me involved in about 1984, 1985, something like that. Right. And he was just ready to let go, I'm sure. And with his help, he and I stuck together for a while. We just expanded it to, and it came to us that maybe we should just do neighborhoods. So people could get out of their cars, walk around to that neighborhood, and it would make it a lot easier. Our price became larger, a lot larger. And today it's the biggest fundraiser for the Barker House. It is our main income producing thing that we do. But through the years, other people have been co-chairman like myself, and now we have turned it over to Clara Stage and Sally Francis, and Kihei's in there just doing a wonderful job. I think the list just makes me laugh because it was varied all over town, you know, everywhere. And even after that, we did places outside of town, like Country Club Drive and Queen Anne Drive. And now we just don't do that. People want to be right in town with the trolley and the horse and buggy and all those neat things. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger and lovelier and lovelier, thanks to people who will open their homes.
Peggy Ann was on the commission at the time we started this. Right. Peggy Ann, you might want to just hold up your program. Peggy Ann did the program for our very first one. And I think we were even using mimeograph machines back then.
Exactly. I think I went to the high school and had them run it off on a mimeograph machine. And I was involved with the first one in 1981 and was on the commission at the time. And I think what strikes me the most about the tour, any tour that we have in Edenton, is that people will ask us, well, why do you continue doing this other than making money? I think we continue doing this because we are proud of our history. We are proud of the people that love this town, that moved to this town and embrace the community. And we're so proud of it that we want to show off our homes. And we're, like Susan said, are so thankful that the people step up to the plate. They come from all over the United States. We've even had some from Canada and from England come just for the Christmas tour, and many come back. We have repeat people. I think a funny story I'll tell you about, we used to own a retail jewelry store downtown, and we had a couple that came and we met them and they became engaged at the tour and called us back later to see if they could get married at our store and have my husband marry them, which we did not because we were not able to do that. But you see people come to town and they fall in love with this place because as it was designated in 1981, it was the South's prettiest little town.
And it still is.
And it still is.
And it's a very special place to be, not just because of the natural beauty and the water, and not just because of the history, although in Chowan County we have more 18th century buildings than any other place in North Carolina. So people just come here and fall in love, and as Peggy Ann mentioned on the tour, I know I've been somewhat involved with it for all these 39 years, and we see the same people year after year, and it becomes a tradition. People start to book the bed and breakfasts and the motels a year in advance to be sure that they can come, and we combined somewhere along the way with the Cupola House and with the Iredell House so that their celebrations are also the exact same weekend of the tour. And it really just gives a broad, wonderful experience for people who come to Edenton.
I have people in the summer even asking me, where's the tour this year? I'm like, that's just wonderful that they look so forward to it. It's great.
And it takes the community to do it. It's not just the commission. It's people from the garden club. It is people from the women's club. They all work hard to make this town beautiful. And even if the houses that are not on tour, ride around and you'll see that those houses are just as pretty on the outside as the others. And maybe next year when you come back, you can see their house open.
Now that we have told you a little bit about the history of the tour, and of course this year is different from any other year that we've had, but it is an exciting and wonderful and creative event to be able to do it in this way. And we're just so thankful and so happy that you have decided to be a part of this with all of us.
Welcome to the Cupola House. I'm Gay Chaff, president of the Cupola House Association. The Cupola House was built in 1758 by Francis Corbin, a land agent for Lord Granville. It is known as one of the finest examples of Jacobean architecture in America. We are in the dining room, a room rich in wood molding and incredible detail. This room has been decorated by 3 members of not only the Cupola House, but the Garden of Eden Garden Club. These 3 gifted women have handmade all the Christmas decorations you see in the room. Keeping with the colonial tradition, all the greenery has come from their gardens or their neighbor's garden. The drum cabinet features 18th century china and glass belonging to the Dickinson family, residents of the Cupola House for 140 years. It is decorated with a simple 18th century tradition of holly. The winter garlands are handmade from pine with an boxwood lace overlay. The Cupola House is known for a Christmas wassail bowl. This year, the wassail bowl is COVID correct, with a stunning fruit display crowned with a pineapple, the traditional symbol of hospitality. The fireplace surround looks like marble, but is really wood painted to impress visitors as to the wealth of Francis Corbin. The mantle garland is a luxurious mix of magnolia, boxwood, long needle pine, cedar, Fraser fir, and winter berries. Its aromatic notes are rosemary and lavender from the Cupola House gardens. The Martha Washington doll tree is just right for a children's tea party, with Martha Washington dolls, silver demi-tasse spoons, and teacup napkin rings. A grand and glorious explosion of winterberry, fascia, hydrangea, and loquat on our marble-topped demi-lume table. It is as fragrant as it is beautiful. Under the portrait of Thomas Barker, husband to Penelope Barker, is our silver urn filled with seasoned fruits and nuts. The persimmons, as is everything, are from a Cupola House's members' garden. We at the Cupola House wish you a safe and Merry Christmas and the happiest of holidays, and we invite you to come back and meet us in person.
Hi there, I'm Jennifer Harris. I'm so excited to be on the virtual Christmas tour this year, and I decided to share our dining room with you. This is one of my favorite rooms in the house. Our house is over 100 years old. It was built in 1911, and so many memories are made in the dining room, whether it's Christmas Eve dinner or Christmas dinner, birthdays. A lot of celebrations happen in the dining room. One fun thing we do on Christmas Eve, we usually have these fun little poppers that have little trinkets in them. So I added those to the table this year. So anyway, I love our dining room and the joy that happens in it. And one special thing we do happens on Christmas morning.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jesus. Happy birthday to you.
Merry Christmas. Welcome to my family home. My name is Marshall Creighton, and I live here with my husband Scott and our 4 children, and we're so happy that you are joining us on the Candlelight Christmas Tour this year. I hope you will enjoy the decorations that we've done and have fun looking around. Over here we have some portraits of our 3 daughters when they were younger, 2 there, 1 behind the grapevine tree. The grapevine tree is something that we've had for many years, and we enjoy decorating it. Every year we have a lot of fun with different decorations and themes for the tree. Over here we have sort of a surprise. This is a little play closet which was decorated, and our children played in it a whole lot when they were smaller. They're a little bit older now. And the theme is sort of the night before Christmas. We've got art with our children's handprints, Christmas art, and a little setup for Santa to come inside, read a story. All right, welcome to our dining room, which is set for a feast. And my husband and I are both very sentimental. We love decorating with and using things that have been passed down by people in our family. So with the exception of the reindeer, everything in this room either belonged to his grandparents or mine or our parents. The punch bowl was my grandmother's with the winterberry. There's an antique clock between the 2 windows that was also hers. And we love entertaining family and friends. And Christmas is a wonderful time to do that, and it's a fun time for us to get to showcase these things. Okay, come into our family study, which we have decorated for Christmas using a lot of family photographs of our kids, mainly growing up different Christmases over the years, and a lot of our children's art. We love to showcase our children's Christmas crafts and artwork. And so a lot of that's in this room.
Come in. Welcome to Poplar Neck Jubilee Farm. This house, which belonged to Susan Moore, after her husband Augustus Moore died, they formerly lived in town. He was a judge, and they were at the Barker House back when it was up on the top of Broad Street. And when he died, she had all the wood for this house cut and dried here on the farm, and it was finished in 1853. It's Greek Revival, as you can see by the woodwork, and it's very symmetrical, a center hall, and 4 rooms, 18 by 18. So we decided to invite you into the dining room. I chose the dining room for our one-room decorating because this room has more memories than any other room we have. We moved into this house in 1976, and the first Christmas, my whole family came from Pennsylvania, and I had a problem because I didn't have any dishes, so I asked my mother if she could find any old dishes, and lo and behold, she brought a whole 12-piece place setting of Limoges china that was her mother's, and we had never seen it before. And so that started our first Christmas tradition. There were, there were about 15 of us. And so the table, actually, we bought with the house from Ben and Virginia Wood, and have enjoyed it because you can sit 12 or 13 around it. The flowers are in an old Wedgwood 1850 tureen, so that's the exact period of the house. And Peggy Ann Vaughn, who's well known around Edenton, helped, did the arrangements with greens from her house and our house. Authentically, just greenery that you have right around the house. So memories. I can remember my father sitting at the head of the table, my mother sitting at the head of the table when he died, and of course now my husband Cy is always at the table, head of the table. So this is an interesting piece of art that my husband gave me for our anniversary one year. And it's by a sculptor from Virginia named Nora Green. And she always sculpted people, but she had a wonderful sense of bringing to life African American people out of plants and flowers to make a beautiful, just a beautiful scene. And this is a 5th generation. There are 5 generations of things. This is a Hestia collecting creche that's now being given to my son and to my grandchildren. So there are 5 generations of things. 8 fireplaces, and we always have a fire at Thanksgiving, and the first Christmas we had them in every room, upstairs and down. Just 2 special paintings for people who are from North Carolina or want to hear more about it, but there's a couple, Francis Spate and his wife Sarah Blakesy, who she was his student in 1931 when she painted this, which is why it looks much more like his own painting. Later she went to Paris and became more impressionistic, as you can see in some of her other works. And we had the special privilege of her coming and staying with us and doing a portrait of our daughter when she was 84 years old. So, quite an experience. This was a gift from me to my husband for an anniversary candelabra, and an old corner cupboard, which I found dusty and in 2 pieces at an antique shop in Virginia. And the man said, well, I've had it in the shop for 50 years and no one has had a corner big enough to buy it. So I said, well, bring it down and I'll try, and it fits beautifully here. And reminds me of Philadelphia because it was made there in 1750. So memories of people, memories of family are what fill this dining room. And nothing in it would be of much importance if there wasn't a lot of love and family who I can feel just being in here. Finally, in 2015, we were 31 people and lined up in the hallway for for dinner. And now that we have 6 grandchildren, we've gotten a smaller group each year. But welcome and thank you for coming and visiting with me in this home I feel privileged to have.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tom Wood, owner with my wife Janie Wood of the Mulberry Hill House. Given the amount of work that the house takes all the time, you might say that the Mulberry Hill House owns us. We don't own it, but we love the house and have had a wonderful time living here. The house was built in 1798 according to a dated brick on the northeast corner of the house, and it was owned by James and Ann Blunt. Of course, James Blunt was a colonel in the American Revolution militia, and she was a participant with her mother and sister in the Edenton Tea Party, which of course we know as the first political action by women in America. You see our 1767 courthouse that's now in Edenton, quite similar brick in appearance to the brick on this house. And you see above it the signers of the Declaration of Independence, and we're very proud of the fact that 2 of the signers are Edentonians. You see James Wilson and Joseph Hughes in this painting. In this engraving. It is unusual that James Wilson is sometimes claimed to be a Philadelphian, but we say an Edentonian given the fact that he couldn't go back to above the Mason-Dixon line or be thrown into debtor's prison. And we come into this room, which is the living room. You can see that George Washington continues here. We have a Lansdowne engraving of George Washington, and we have all these miniatures of George Washington as well. Somebody said, well, why do you have all of those? It's because my wife is a direct descendant of George Washington's grandfather, William Ball, Colonel William Ball, and she naturally has a liking for anything George Washington. She's very proud of his accomplishments. This is my wife, again, who painted this picture, Janet Stronach Wood. And I'm very proud of her work. She has executed many paintings in and around Edenton and Raleigh, and it's very well known.
This particular one I call Memories of Christmas Past. For 55 years since I've been married to Tom, we've had wonderful family here, friends, and I have our pets in the painting. I have rearranged the furniture a bit to accommodate, and hopefully we'll have the same this year. And as I said, we may be wearing masks, but we'll still have a good time, a lot of merriment. Please come to see us at Mulberry Hill if you're in our neck of the woods.
And we will, I could not stop talking unless I told you about Christmas at Mulberry Hill. And we would sing the most wonderful songs, Greenfield Blues. And I'll sing you just one quick little verse, if I may.
Oh, please. Greenfield Blues.
We used to sing, want to go to town, but it isn't no use. Mr. Wood won't turn me loose. Lord, 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 I got these Greenfield Blues. Pea pick-a-picking and the dust flying, old folks fussing and the young uns crying. And the funniest verse I can remember was 2 old maids sitting in the sand, each of them wished that the other was a man. Lord, 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 I got them Greenfield Blues. And it went on and on into the night. Of course, back then everybody played a musical instrument, and they didn't have TV, so they sang one song after another. This is a bookcase secretary that was executed by John McMorran of Elizabeth City. I've talked to you, I think, about the Adam interior. Here is the best example that we have of that Adam interior. You see this sunburst mantelpiece, and around it you see carved rosettes and a very intricate alignment there on the ceiling of a Adam design. As you can see, a great deal of work went into that. From Mulberry Hill,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of the people watching this video. Thank you.
I'm Michael Morgan, the music director here at Edenton Baptist Church, and with the Handbell Choir. We're the church under the dome. We will share two pieces with you tonight, Advent Carol and How Far Is It to Bethlehem. Our choir is all of volunteers of people here within the church and within the community. We hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Carl. This is my wife Frances. We welcome you to our house. It's a Carolina coastal cottage. It was built in 1840 or thereabouts by Robert Payne. He moved to Texas about 20 years later. We don't have a lot of the provenance since that time. It's a coastal Carolina cottage. It's built up higher so that sea waves or weather would not damage the house. It's a Greek Revival house. It has a long, wide corridor down the center of the hall. The house actually ended at the door before the dining room. There are four rooms on either side. Each room has a fireplace, and Frances is going to show you the room that we chose.
I want to point out an unusual feature. This is called a Tudor Revival arch. It's unusual, but it divides the front part of the foyer from the back part. And I'd like to show you this scale model of the house, which was done by a very talented Edenton craftsman. Bert Albritton did this, and we're very proud of it. I think he did a wonderful job. Carl and I think it's fun to decorate for Christmas, and we include the bedroom. So we have put some of our greenery from the yard. We've hung our stockings, and we made rosemary wreaths for the windows. The bed is a Charleston rice bed. You can see the rice fronds on the post of the bed. It's about 50 years old, and it was handmade by a craftsman from Guilford County, North Carolina. This is our dog, Neo. He shares the bedroom with us. Thank you for visiting us. We're so glad you could come, and we want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas.
This is the tree I cut
us about some of your ornaments.
This is the ornament I made. This is the ornament I made last year at school.
And up here on the walls, we have what, Lily?
I did my these paintings with my art teacher when I was 3. It named Miss Tracy.
And Lily's bed's here. Which one's your bed, Lily?
This one.
And Lily's beds are made by a local craftsman named Ben Hobbs. And these beds were Lily's daddy when he was a little boy. What's over here on the floor? We have a tea set. Lily and Emma love to have tea parties with their grandmother. And sometimes they have real tea and sometimes they have fake tea called hot chocolate. And now Lily, would you like to give us a tour of your desk?
Well, this is my Santa's letter.
And what's on there?
My Christmas list.
What things do you have on there?
A Barbie airplane, a stable unicorn, and a guitar.
And a lot of nights before bedtime, Lily and her daddy love to come upstairs and play
Legos.
And Lily's desk chair is actually a chair made by a local North Carolina craftsman that dates back to the 1800s. And the bottom seat is carved from one solid piece of wood. Okay, give Emma some. Okay, what do we say, Emma?
Happy Christmas time.
Happy Christmas time. Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching the tour.
Welcome and Merry Christmas. Welcome to our 1907 Greek Revival home. We're glad that you could join us as we celebrate the season. As we start, we hope that when people walk into our home that they first focus on the nativity, which is indeed the essence of the season, the celebration of the birth of Christ. Throughout the room, that is the theme we try to display. We have candles signifying Christ as the light of the world and as a sign of celebration. We have the candles displayed not only here, but on our sideboard and as well on the tree itself. We started collecting these candles, I guess maybe about 10 years ago. We initially purchased a few, and as you can see, we really like them because we continue to add. So we have several of these candles throughout the tree. Also on the tree, we have angels. The top angel is a fair trade natural fabric angel that we purchased, as well as smaller angels displayed throughout the tree, music, hymns of Christmas, and instruments. Over the mantle, we have candelabras with a touch of Christmas, as well as the clock, also with some Christmas decorations, and angels, which are very relevant for this time of season. And those actually tie into the angels that we enjoy in the ceiling year-round. On the center table, we also have a candle, as well as our Christmas setting. We have also collected carolers over the years, and you'll see that we have a variety of different people showing just the diversity of the worshipers of Christ. We have a set of carolers on the desk here, as well on the table here, but we have them all focused toward the nativity, back to the essence of Christmas. We tie this theme into other rooms in our house. So in our dining room, we pick back up on the Christmas tree with the nativity, with the Christ Jesus, the angels, and the Virgin Mary. We hope you would join us in celebrating the joy of Christmas and the miracle of the birth of Christ. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Welcome to the Stegall home. Thank you for coming. We chose this room as our feature home because we spend the majority of our time in this room. We spend lots of time with family and friends. We have, it's an open space. The kitchen's open to the den. My husband and son love to cook. I love to sit at the fireplace, watch them cook, us talk and visit. We also enjoy this tree. We love a whimsical feel, and this tree is a hodgepodge of different ornaments. We have ornaments that my husband and son made when they were children. I have other ornaments that I have acquired through ornament exchanges. I have some Waterford, some Lennox. Also, we've collected ornaments since we've been married, and also just some new ornaments. We also collect Nutcracker Men. This is something we really enjoy at Christmas. We bought our first one when our son was born, and we have collected one every year since then. We have 15, and he is 15 years old. We received our first piece when we got married as a wedding gift. It's the chapel right here, and we have collected pieces since then. And this is something really fun too. It is a lot of work to put it up, but we do enjoy it. That is Otis. We love the feel of the open space, the kitchen with the den. My husband and son really enjoy cooking, and I love to sit at the fireplace and watch them cook, and we talk and visit. We also spend a lot of time in this room with family and friends. It's just a really fun room, and we spend a lot of time in it. I'm sorry my son couldn't join you because he and his band could have played Merry Christmas. So, in closing, thank you for visiting. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon and welcome to our home. My name is Ed, this is my wife Heidi, and our son John.
So we moved here from Northeast Connecticut 5 months ago. We fell in love with Edenton, and we always liked the movie It's a Wonderful Life, and thought that the William Pruden house reminded us so much of that movie. We were so excited to move in. The house was built in 1883, and it's a Victorian style. So for Christmas, as you enter, you will see Santa Claus. Coming into our parlor, the first thing you'll notice is our manger, because faith and family are very, very important to us. Next, you'll see the Kanabi piano that's well over 100 years old and has been in my family for more than 60 years. Music is also very important to us, and you're likely to find our family playing the piano and singing on any given occasion.
And on display above the piano is our collection of Santas, which we've been collecting for about 25 years. And we're starting to run out of room, so we're going to need another area to display them as we go along.
Being from New England, we're used to having a lot of snow, and our snowman collection pays tribute to that. You'll see throughout the house that we do have snowmen hiding in various places, but we have a nice assortment here in the parlor.
All right, and in the center of our room, we decided this year to display our tree. In years past, we always put it in a window or on a wall, but we thought this would be more nostalgic, having it in the center of the room, especially with the Christmas train going around it. And we've got an assortment of ornaments throughout the year that we've collected throughout the years. Not any particular theme, but places that we've been. And then towards the bottom, we focus on the grandchildren, and from maybe 3 feet down, we put the non-breakable ornaments, the Mickey Mouses and plastic Santas, so we don't have to worry about the grandkids playing with or grabbing and not breaking something, which we've been collecting for about 20 years. Hopefully we'll add a little bit to it this year, but it's a nice assortment. Some of them bring back memories. The tree stand, I used to have a Christmas shop, and just different things like that remind us of things that we've done. And then our dining room table, we're set for the Christmas feast. This year we purchased a set of china with the Night Before Christmas theme. So on each particular piece it has a verse from the story, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And all that we've done here is with our grandchildren in mind to make Christmas more magical for them.
Merry Christmas and welcome to Atoll House. This 1836 Greek Revival home was built for Joshua Skinner and his wife. It was built on what had been the foundation of the home of General Thomas Benberry, the Revolutionary War general who had protected the Carolina coast from the British during the hostilities. In 1940, the home and property were purchased by the United States Marine Corps and were used as an air base during World War II and the years following. Unfortunately, over time, the house really started to show its age, and by the early 2020s, it was in need of major renovations. In 2012, the then owners did a major restoration on the property, and it was recognized by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. We are pleased to share with you a glimpse of this grand old lady celebrating Christmas in the kitchen. The kitchen seems to be holiday central in our home, with the tastes and smells of cookies and pies filling the house with memories of Christmases past. As you can see, the kitchen, originally a parlor, is a large room hosting a 12-foot ceiling with crown molding, a fireplace, and 9/9 windows surrounding the perimeter. Nestled in one corner is a 10-foot Christmas tree, adorned with numerous Santa Claus ornaments, pine cones, German ornaments, and handmade bows. I began collecting Santa Claus ornaments decades ago, and for many years gave my children Santa ornaments every year for their own collections. On the fireplace mantel and on top of one of the kitchen cabinets are portions of Mike's growing collection of Department 56 Christmas Village pieces. These representing a Victorian village and the ones on the top cabinet, the Harley-Davidson village. The Carmel Cottage, second from the right on the mantel, was one of the original 6 pieces released in 1976, the year that Department 56 debuted. On the island countertop, we have placed a group of nutcrackers and smokers guarding a stash of holiday candies and more pine cone trees, of course.
One of my hobbies is collecting village pieces of Harley-Davidson villages, and of course that also is an indication that I like to ride my Harley-Davidson. I have a beautiful 2012 Heritage Softail, and I like to go on rides every summer with my brother. We might cover 4,000 to 5,000 miles in a run, seeing national parks.
As the new owners of Atoll House, we look forward to our first Christmas here and want to thank the Edenton Historical Commission for including us in their 2020 virtual Christmas tour.
This house was built in 1860. It's had a lot of Christmases. The stories about the house are numerous, but the most important part is its survival. It's been changed many times over many years. However, today, and we thank you very much for including us in this tour. My beginning was in the shadow of the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. My father was with the National Park Service, and we were the first alien family, not native to North Carolina, but not to Buxton. And I was born in Buxton 84 years ago in the shadow of that lighthouse. My father was the gentleman who purchased the land for the national park. So the emblematic main, our idea of the mantle is from the old hymn, "Go Tell It on the Mountain." Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills, across the sea, and everywhere. And that's what we're doing here. We've got 3 angels in there, one trumpeting the news that Christ is born. And we have one angel giving gifts and another angel with her shell phone telling the world about the birth of Christ. Image of the little village in front of the mirror with the starfish stars really, to me, is a memory of why I ever came back to live in Edenton. Victorian homes, lighthouse, people in the streets, having fun, enjoying themselves. The tree reflects my personal love of wildlife, birds, sailing the sea, the water, as do all of the books here, the collection of birds on the mantle, on the lighthouse, on the shelves, is just a thimble of what is available for that. But it's gotten into the Christmas spirit, the birds, and the greenery, and the thought of a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. We're delighted to be on the tour.
So Frank and I are both from very big families, and families are very important to us. And so this dining room is one of our favorite rooms in the house because it lends itself to the number of people we have at the holidays. We love to gather around this table, little people, big people, all loud people, and share stories and laugh and poke fun at each other, and most importantly, eat. We've enjoyed collecting things over the years that catch our eye, mine most importantly. And I like old and new, and so it's been a fun adventure, kind of collecting and piecing things together that are special to me. And this year I was inspired by all of the natural beauty in the neighborhood we live in. It's a historic plantation, and there's just so much natural beauty that it really doesn't need a whole lot of extra. And so on the table you'll find all natural clippings from either the original plantation house or my yard alone. And we've had a fun time putting it together. I have little people that you can hear in the background that have a lot of fun. This house is lived in, and it's been very hard for them not to dig in, as the table is always invited. This mural is of Boston Harbor, and the original owner, Ernie Knighton, I believe had it installed because he married a wonderful woman from Boston. And so it was kind of a special tribute to her. And as we bought the house, it was kind of funny because it's also a special place for my husband, as he went to business school there and has a lot of family in Boston. So we've enjoyed it. Merry Christmas, everyone, from Edenton, North Carolina.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Grant your family, we pray, Almighty God, the resolve to run forth to meet your Christ with righteous deeds at his coming, so that gathered at his right hand, they may be worthy to possess the heavenly kingdom. Through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God forever and ever. Amen. El Señor bendiga esta corona de Adviento para celebrar su nacimiento entre nosotros. Amén.
¡Merry Christmas, Edenton!
¡Feliz